Morning. You know what today is? Well, hopefully the thumbnail's a dead giveaway. It's the first day of corn planting 2024. Seed tenders over here. We got to get it loaded up. We got to get the planter pulled out. Our dealer is coming out to help me get it started up today, and hopefully everything works good and we, at least get a field planted. Always try to set my expectations low for that first day because, well, first day startups are a real thing. They never go as planned. We got the seed tender over here running. Went over it, everything's working on it, so Dad's going to get me my first box of corn. I'm heading over to get the planter. So a little bit of change of plans, or a little bit of change from last year. This year at the moment anyways, I'm the one planting the corn. So I think Dad has planted corn at Brown Farms most of the time that we've grown corn at Brown Farms. I'd say he's probably planted corn since 1960-ish. So sure, at some point he'll plant some corn, but for now I'm gonna run the Massey planter. At least that's plan A, and we know how things change around here. I need either this box or this box. Anyways, we are going to plant Seed Consultants 1093 as our first variety. This year we're really trying to be a little bit better about selecting where our varieties go. So, just turned on my windshield wiper somehow. I hate the wiper in this tractor. I think I got it off now. Okay, anyways. We are trying to be better in how we select our hybrids for each piece of dirt we farm. So we use a Pro Box seed tender for corn. It works great for our situation. A lot of times we'll have a lot of different varieties. We don't buy a lot of units of the same variety. We try out probably entirely too many. But with this, I can take 4 different varieties to the field. That's probably a 40 unit box, I'm gonna guess. Plant a little over 100 acres with that. We are planning on average, I believe, 33 to 34,000 seeds per acre, depending on the script. There's 80,000 seeds in a unit. That is 1 unit of corn. It's also a bag. A bag of corn is 1 unit. That's 80,000 seeds. Corn does not go by weight, it goes by the seed count when they say units of corn. We have 50 units, so 50 times 80,000 divided by 33,000. That's how many acres we're going to plant on this tote of seed, this Pro Box of seed. I mean, I'm not saying I'm good, but I did just, space that out perfect for the first time. Maybe that's a good omen for the day. First fill up of the year is always an exciting time. I am so glad to be done in that fertilizer spreader, even if it's just for the day. I've not done spreading, and we're not going to be full bore planting every day now. I mean, we're going to plant today, and we'll probably plant tomorrow, but we still have other jobs we got to do. There's a chance of rain in 2 days. And I wanted to try this planter that way. If we need to make any adjustments or change anything, we know it's going into that rain delay. Kind of my idea. But since this is a brand new planter, it's been told to me that it is best to be very liberal with our seed lubricant. That's what we're going to do. Now with the air seeder, I didn't have to use this stuff. I don't miss it. Very messy. So we have a counter on that on that scale head, we're going to count out 1,100 pounds. That's about half of that Pro box. And then I want to put the other half in this. That scale head really makes it easy to split boxes. Did makeup and lighting get with you this morning? So Justin from Precision Agri Services down. We're doing a couple last minute calibrations on this, basically just confirming that our guidance and our row shutoffs and all that stuff's going to be as accurate as possible. Because what's the use of having an extremely accurate planner if we don't have the right settings programmed into it? Man, these dubs are a little flat spotted. Hopefully that quits, because this is a rough ride at the moment. Luckily we only had about a mile drive to the field, so won't notice it in field speeds. Going over a couple things. Trying to make some adjustments, dialing in our vac pressures. Trying to match our vacs right now. There's an adjustment out there. They're on the same circuit, but there's a valve out there Justin can turn. Try to even those up a little bit. Oh, we just dropped. To be honest with you folks, right now I'm drinking through a fire hose. But we're gonna figure it out. At the end of the day, we're planting. I've planted several years now. I've planted corn before. The concepts are the same. The operating system's a little different. Going the wrong way. That's lowering it. So the concepts are the same. Just still got a vac, still got a bulk fan, still got meters, still got seed tubes. Just how do we get there?
Thing on. Testing. All right. Try a run. Brian and Justin on the cab. Sure is a pretty red. Probably won't be that pretty for long once the dust gets on it. So what are we checking there, Travis?
Level of the toolbar.
The row cleaners right now are just floating up.
Yeah, see that at zero command right there? So click on row cleaners. And then you would positive is down. So if you want to put some down pressure on them, like go to like
pretty
20,
low then.
Or go to try 20, you know. But it's got to react. It's an air system, okay? Yeah. So it's not hydraulic, it's not instant, you know, it has to react and so forth like that. But, you know, some of these conditions, you know, the more looser soil, right now we have the T-handle basically in the very top position. So because you strip tilling, we know that you moved a lot of the residue away already.
Right.
So you kind of want to be a little bit of tine engagement, but more about that firminess ahead of it. So you might even go from 20, you might want to put 50 pounds on the row cleaners, hit 50.
Okay.
Because we don't,
oh, so
the goal is we
got the tines manually pulled up a little ways, but we're still using that press.
That's correct. Okay. That's correct. So the goal is we kind of want that constant pressure on those row cleaners. We want those row cleaners to, you know, do all the movement and smooth that out. And we want those the row units of the planter, we want them to just purr right along. We don't want to see them move. So if we feel like we got a lot of chatter and, you know, and this and that on different things, then, you know, we might have to put a little bit more on those row cleaners. Now, also, like I said, I mean, we kind of started them in the top notch.
So right there, they're kind of chattering. So is that what you're talking about?
I mean, we're chattering a little bit, but like you said, we're also have that tine engagement at the most minimum as possible. So we might need to get out and make tine engagement a little bit more, because you got a little bit more of a cloudiness. You know, it's not like you're working with really fine, loose dirt. Is the conditions going to change a lot when we get on the hill, or how's that going to work?
Right. how many seed digging tools I have. You know how many I have with me? I have my pocket knife. Not closing all the way? No, that's where I stopped.
Well, I'm trying to see how deep we are.
Okay, too deep?
Hold too deep.
It's like back here we were steering really good on the strip till lines. So we're 20 acres in. Dad and BJ, a couple other guys have been down here digging the whole time. We're just going to do some verifying. We're really trying to dial our clutches in. We want a 6-inch gap between our headlands and our first seed of corn. That's what we're going for. Really steering beautifully on the strip till strips. I know it's windy out here, bear with me folks, but really steering really nice on the strips. Wonderful. Here we got a kernel of corn. There's our first pass. That rough. So yeah, we got our headland pass, seed. So meet your approval?
Sure, run with it.
They're letting BJ get him a little schooling in there. So right there, he wasn't perfectly squared up, but now he's walked on the line really good, and we're right on the strips. So people were asking, can you do a 16-row strip till bar with a 24-row corn planter? We're doing it pretty good. We use ag leader steering, and it's working really well right here. Well, you planted corn.
You guys act like you're big, your corn planters, your bean seeders, and all this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we're 40 acres in. They have turned me loose. Everybody's leaving me. It's 2 o'clock now, so it's definitely not the most efficient day, but first days never are. We're going to go plant for a couple more hours. I'm basically going to plant this Pro Box empty, and that's probably going to be it for the day because we still have spraying, spreading, and tilling to do. So don't want to get too far ahead. Basically anything I plant, Dad's got to get 28 on here pretty soon, fertilizer. So don't want to get too far ahead of the sprayer because he's still doing bean burn down. But everything is working, so that's good. So Dad is following me. This driveway we're going through, we have to go to the railroad, and this planter, one thing that does kind of concern me is it's maybe not as high up in the air as our older planter, like our row units are. Our seed box is, but the row units themselves kind of hang a little lower. And Dad's going to spot for me, make sure I'm not going to rub the railroad, because that would be less than ideal. And definitely don't want to get it stuck on the railroad because that railroad gets a lot of traffic. You going on over, or you want me to go over first?
Good, I can see from back here, I think. Getting back here is probably worse than up here.
Hard crossing to see around. There's a bend in it right here. Gotta be pretty careful on this one. You gotta look around the bend. Less than ideal. We got red lights on the signal, so I think that means there's no trains coming. That's my understanding anyways. Alright, I think we're gonna be alright. Oddly enough, the other crossing was worse. The one that we crossed coming out of the last field. Looks like I'm in good shape. So looking out over this bottom, BJ just strip tilled about 100 acres of it about 3 days ago. In fact, it was the last place he strip tilled, so we don't want to strip or plant that just yet. Ideally, that ground would get a chance to mellow out for a while, and it has not yet. So I'll probably come back next week and plant it. I think it's supposed to rain between now and then. That'll help quite a bit. This farm we like to plant kind of early. This is one of the first farms we harvest. That's why I'm going back here to this top ground. It was strip tilled a while ago. One of the first fields. You may be wondering why we didn't do the bottom while we were here. Well, that's because the river was flooded back then, so we couldn't. Field number 2, and we're off and running. All by myself. Look at me. Now, this monitor, the 2020, I don't have I've used one on a Fendt Momentum back in 2021, so it's been a few years. I like the monitor. It's very intuitive. It's very easy to use once you get the hang of it. I just haven't used it in a while, so had a couple questions, but yeah, it's fairly self-explanatory. One thing pretty neat is you can see our variable rate file. Like, we are variable rating row by row, so you see that population graph. It's green because that's what it's supposed to be population-wise. It's just changing based on, you know, the prescription. So I think we're anywhere from 29 to 34,000, I think, in this field. And we're done with this one. So 70 acres in. I really just want to stay here and knock out that 100-acre field, but we are trying to, like I said, place varieties a little bit more accurately. In the true nature of first day startup, you know, things, found a loose hydraulic line. At least I think it's loose. Hopefully the crimp isn't coming loose. But it's unfolding, getting ready to fire everything up, and realize that it's some hydraulic oil on the bar, and now I can't raise or lower the bar. So I think it's a lift line. I think it just came loose. Kind of think it's that one.
It's gubby down there.
I hope it ain't coming out of that crimp's what I'm worried about.
Well, that might be. Looking at it.
Morning. 2 mornings, 1 day. Anyways, folks, this is the next morning. So when this leak started, I was actually going to plant for about 30 minutes and then leave because I'm coaching my son's little league baseball game, and we had a ball game. So when it happened, you know, I thought we had a leak. Tightened it the best I could, or kind of was looking over it. A little shorthand though. Needed 2 sets of eyes. This morning, Dad came out here and helped me, and we determined that we just had a loose fitting. So, tragedy avoided. No busted lines. And, yeah, we're going to get back to planting here soon. So, that is going to be the end of this video, though. And, yeah, it's kind of stuff that's some of the things you have on the, you know, first day startup woes, you might say. But, we got her. I've got wrenches in the cab, in case it happens again or we find any more loose fittings. And yeah, looking forward to throwing the rest of this corn in the ground here soon. But thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you in the next one, which starts right after I turn this camera off, actually.